Hello, my name is Madison Reich. Today I'm going to be presenting my professional roles presentation, and we are going to be discussing the nursing shortage crisis that is affecting healthcare everywhere. It's not just in America, it's a worldwide issue, and we're going to discuss some areas that are really being affected by this and maybe why this nursing shortage is going on. However, there might be some solutions as well discussed, but the likelihood of them happening that is what we are going to have to figure out within the next coming years as to how we can help this crisis and not make it even worse than it already is. So just a little introduction. It has been common knowledge that there is a nursing shortage crisis that has been plaguing nations across the world for years. Unfortunately, this shortage does not discriminate against any single aspect of the nursing practice, and instead it affects patient care, nursing education, and other varieties of nursing. For example, there is a nursing shortage for the elevating numbers of baby boomers that are going to be entering healthcare. And with the lack of nurses and an increased patient population, this is going to be a problem. Also, in other certain specialty areas like perioperative nursing, the lack of education curriculum within nursing schools might be a factor and contribute as to why there is a lack of perioperative nurses. Also, just the failed leadership aspect and how much healthcare has transformed into a bureaucratic environment can also be a reason why nurses are no longer happy within the profession. This will also be discussed. And lastly, one of the most crucial aspects as to why the nursing shortage is happening, this crisis, is because there is a lack of nursing educators. So I think this might be point A, the foundational issue as to why nurses aren't entering the workforce. Because without nursing educators, there cannot be any new nurses. This is that crucial aspect that is missing and I think needs to be addressed really to alleviate this nursing shortage. So, we're going to do a review of literature. I used 5 sources within this presentation and paper. I found lots of good information regarding the nursing shortage because it is such a crucial and it's been an issue for quite some time now. So first of all, there is Ball and Akuma. The nursing shortages in the OR will be reviewed and discussed within this presentation. They focused their review in the OR specifically, and this came from the AORN Journal, which was a great resource to discuss, how operating room nursing is being affected by the nursing shortage crisis. Glasper will also be discussed, strategies to alleviate shortages of nursing and adult social care. This is from the British Journal of Nursing. So, as discussed, this isn't just an American problem, it's a worldwide issue. Also, there's Johnson and Joransky and Seldom Ridge, and they discuss lead nursing forward addressing the Maryland nursing faculty shortage. So they really focused their research on the nursing educator shortage, and it hits home because it is in America and Maryland. Also, Rook, she discussed a healthcare crisis, a nursing crisis, a time to breathe, and this is from the Nursing Praxis of New Zealand. So once again, hitting home with the fact that this is an international issue and not just in America. Lastly, there's Zolniak and Martin, and they discuss back to school from the Texas Nursing Journal, and this is, I thought, prevalent because it is Texas, and also it hits home with the lack of nursing educators, and how this is playing a really prevalent role within the nursing shortage crisis. So now if we go to the next slide, we're going to discuss the applications of findings. We're going to summarize the interpretation of results by using all of the literature we just discussed, and we're going to discuss some of the issues. And I want to talk about how the nursing shortage doesn't just affect one population. Everyone is affected by this, including patients, nurses, and the communities that nurses are supposed to serve. So Rooks reveals that nursing profession has devolved in the last 10 years. So she states that nurses feel they are being asked to do more with less, to tick boxes. They feel tired of delivering care that is rushed and below the standards that the profession and public expect. Now, this change of attitude did not happen over time or overnight. This happened over time. And it was a gradual build-up to the constraints nurses face today. Rooks explains that due to profits and failed leadership, that this perspective is supported by the national and international literature that documents the worldwide shortage of nursing that goes along with the rise of the shortage of nurses, along with the rise of bureaucratic and managerial environments. So these environments are not being conducive to nursing, and nurses feel constrained by all of the failed leadership, all of the feelings that nurses are just a number, with healthcare being such a business-minded basis now. Nursing has really changed, and nurses are feeling that and not enjoying the profession as much as they wanted or expected. It's not what they expect when they enter the workforce. So also we were going to talk about the increase for needs of nurses in the geriatric population. So as this aging population increases with the advancement of medicine and the quality of life, obviously we're going to have an older population that's been the biggest it's ever been, which is going to have more nurses to take care of these patients that will ultimately, usually seek medical care. A company in the United Kingdom, Christie & Company, they revealed that this aging section of the population, especially those aged over 85 years, is likely to grow from 1.4 million in 2010 to 4.4 million by 2046. So with that, we're going to need more nurses. This is a dilemma as there are insufficient numbers of appropriately trained staff to meet the growing health needs of vulnerable older people, Glasper reveals. And the research shows that the percentage of vacant registered nursing posts was even higher at 9%, with 19% of the 43,000 nurses in adult social care employed on 0-hour contracts. So this report suggests, according to NAO and Glasper, that the increase by 2.6% every year until 2035 in order to meet the demand within the industry. So each year, the nursing population is going to have to increase that much in order to stay up with these demanding numbers. So as that is an impending issue that will need to be addressed, there's also an issue that's going on right now, and that is the worldwide shortage of OR nurses. This is another area of nursing that's facing the consequences of the nursing shortage. A fundamental component to this shortage is the lack of perioperative curriculum in nursing schools. According to the AORN Journal, the shortage of nurses is critical in all practice settings, but especially in perioperative practice. Approximately 75% of perioperative nurses are 50 years or older. So they're going to retire soon, and we're going to need more nurses to fill their spots. The AORN Journal points out that the experts anticipate perioperative nursing shortage if some type of clinical education is not introduced to nursing students. So these nursing students aren't getting the perioperative curriculum, and they're not getting jobs out in the workforce because, all of these other perioperative nurses are getting older. And so the lack of education, it's not really fostering that want to join that clinical setting. According to Ball, Doyle, and Okama from the AORN Journal, The decreased exposure to perioperative nursing in both the classroom setting and the clinical environment, a perioperative workforce that is aging and nearing retirement, a patient population that requires more intense nursing care and complex interventions, and technological advancements that require intense education and skill adaptations all lead to this nursing shortage within that setting. We're also going to discuss the future of nursing and faculty shortage. So the future of nursing relies on nursing educators. They need these nursing faculty to mold the young minds of future nurses. According to the LNN, they confirm this. There is a nursing educator shortage. We continue to have an aging nurse faculty workforce with almost 50% of nursing faculty between the ages of 48 and 60 years, and 22% are 62 years or older. So we do not have enough percentage to support younger nurses and fostering them into the profession. As Texas Nursing Magazine reports, this shortage affects all areas of nursing practice. So this is how this certain aspect of nursing shortage really hits home to all aspects of nursing, because we see the nursing shortage in all aspects, but because nursing educators are the foundational knowledge and how we are going to get more nurses in the workforce, this needs to be addressed so that we can actually fill these nursing positions that are going to be in all of these other specialty areas of the shortage of this crisis that's going on. So the Texas Nursing Magazine reports that it includes nursing faculty at a time when schools of nursing will be called upon to further ramp up efforts to increase the preparations of nurses entering the field. So not only are we going to need more nursing educators, the constraints, the needs, the expectations of future nurses are going to be even higher, which is going to also mean more work from nursing educators. According to Texas Nursing Magazine, the number of professional nursing graduates doubled between 2004 and 2014, and this was accomplished through the efforts of all Texas School of Nursing to increase enrollment and graduation rates, as well as the introduction of new professional School of Nursing in the state. However, this success also comes with an increased demand for nursing faculty. So this cyclical shortage in the future without a solution, this profession cannot grow without nursing educators. So this is something to really think about after discussing this, is how can we be a solution to the problem? So that's something to see how I feel that the nursing educators are the most crucial aspect of this. So to conclude, in order to get nurses into the profession and to try and solve the nursing shortage crisis, we're going to have to make a profession that really fosters the autonomy of the nurse, and we're going to have to support each other and see how we can be a solution to this problem. So I think that the nursing shortage affects the nursing profession because nurses are no longer happy in the healthcare field because of the leadership, the bureaucracy, that bedside care. Why nurses become nurses is kind of getting skewed into ticking boxes and becoming a number. Also, nurses in leadership positions must realize the call to action and foster the mentorship. So whenever we do feel like a number, whenever we do feel unappreciated, we're going to have those mentors that have our back, that make us realize the reason we are nurses. Also, we've got that geriatric population that are going to need the services of nursing all over the world. So this is going to have to be addressed. And also in that perioperative setting, the curriculum in School of Nursing, maybe we can foster that love for the perioperative setting, do more clinical rotations, not just that one clinical rotation in the OR. However, I know there are constraints to what a nursing curriculum can have in it. There's time constraints, money constraints. But I think that number one, in order for this nursing shortage crisis to really alleviate itself, is we're going to have to educate nurses, and we're going to have to get those nursing educators that are younger, that have more workforce, and then because of that percentage of nursing educators that are older and going to be retiring soon. So that baton needs to be passed, and nursing education really needs to be fostered. Thank you so much for your time.